YouTube, I'm ABC today to make a tutorial for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about Swing. Now Swing in Java is a feature used to make applications. So finally you can leave around with command prompt and actually work in a window now. The nice thing about Swing is that it's very versatile, work on any platform, and it's designed so that you won't have to get into the nitty-gritty details like pixels and stuff like that. It's just designed for people who want to make applications that they don't care how it looks, they just want to accomplish a goal and they want it to be easy to use, and that's what Swing does, and it does a good job at that. So today I'm going to talk about probably the four features in Swing that I use most often. JFrame, which is where which you use to initially create the window, and everything that occurs later happens on the JFrame tab, I guess I could say. And the next one is JButton. It's a button. You can use it to activate things and trigger things in the program. JTextArea is another one I like to use, which is an editable text block. You can use to display, well, you can input stuff into there as you would in command prompt. And the last one I like using is JLabel, which is a non-editable text which you can use to organize your Swing application. So Swing is it's very cool to start with because it's really cool to start learning about it because it's nice to be able to actually have stuff in a window, and you can make programs that people can actually use that are useful to people using Swing concepts. And there's a lot of things in Swing that I haven't talked about, that I'm not going to talk about today, but maybe in the future I will. Like you can make radio buttons, checkboxes. You can make drop-down menus. There's a ton of things that Swing makes use of. So without any further ado, let's get started with this tutorial.
Alright, so let's get started. So already everything's set up, as always. First thing we're going to do is we're going to import something, and that something is going to be JFrame. So I'm going to say import, there we go, import javax.swing.jframe. Alright, for whatever reason, Swing is stored under JavaX, not 100% sure what that is, but that's where it is, and you'll learn to memorize it. So JFrame. JFrame is a class that creates a window, basically. So what we need to do is we need to make this class an extension of the JFrame class, or in other words, basic Swing will inherit from JFrame. This is what we talk about in the polymorphism video. So now we'll inherit all the methods from the JFrame, and now we want it to be non-static, the whole program. So we're going to create a new instance of the basic Swing class. So we're going to do that. Type out new basic Swing. I'm not sure if I've done this before in this way, but basically the same way of saying basically this is the same thing as this. The only difference is that this one you don't have a name for it, so you can't reference it by name later, but in this case we don't need to. So now we're going to create the constructor method for basic Swing. So public basic Swing. Remember, no return type necessary for constructor methods. And now there's a list of things we're going to take care of that you need to take care of every time you make a new frame. There's a list of like 5 things, I think, and the first one is super. Super calls the constructor method of our parent JFrame, and what the constructor method of the JFrame does is it sets the title of the window. So we're going to say title of window. Okay, that's one down. And now, next thing we're going to do is set the size of the window. So the method is set size. This is another method we've inherited from JFrame. And you just put down the dimensions. So 480, 640. This will make it 480 high and 640 wide. Might be the other way around. Let's try it the other way around. 640. 480. Okay. 640 wide, 40 high. That's better. Okay. 2 down, 3 more to go. Next one is 2 down and 4 more to go. Sorry. Next one is set location relative to, and this will decide where in the screen it's going to be set. We're going to say null because we didn't really care, but this is something that you're going to need to be working with, and it's basically all tutorials. This is one that's they put in there. Next is set resizable. This decides whether or not we can resize the window. So if we say we'll put down false, so this means we cannot resize this window. Next, also very important, is set default close operation, and this is a constant that we also get from the JFrame class. x on close. It's a number that signifies to this method that when you press X button, just close it. And then we're going to type down set visible, because that is very important. It needs to be visible. Up until you use this method, it's invisible. And we generally want to do this last so that everything's taken care of when we make it visible. So now we should have a window. So I'm going to save it, compile it, and run it. And here we go, your first window right here. Let's go through the lines. Title of window is title of window. Size 640x480, that looks about right. Location, it just started in the top left. That's about right. And resizable, we can't resize it. The mouse cursor doesn't even change to resize thing. If we press the X button, it'll close, and it's visible. And there, it does close. Okay. So now we're gonna move on. We're gonna be adding a whole bunch of stuff, but before we do that, we need to make a J panel, which makes it easier to add stuff to the window. And we're gonna first input it, Java X.Swing, J panel, and we're gonna create it here before the main method. So what we're gonna call it, J panel pane equals new J panel. There we go. And then we're gonna add pane to our window. So this calls the add method. It's thundering right now. I don't know if you can hear it. So this will add pane to our window, and it won't look any different because pane's just used for organizational purpose basically. Let's move on. Next, let's do button. Import Java X.Swing.J button. Okay. We'll also create that up here. J button B equals new J button. And we will add that to pane. So we'll call the add method of pane, like so. And then we'll add object B to it. There you go, simple enough. So now we have a button. And I can save, we can compile it, run it, and there we go, we got a button up there. And I forgot to say something about the button constructor method. In the constructor method button, we can put in a string to say what we want what text we want to be there. So we're going to say button. This has multiple constructors, so you can also put, there's also a constructor where you can put image there, and there's also some sort of action one, and there's one where you don't have to put anything there, which we tried out earlier. So next, moving on, we're going to add a text area. Import Java X.Swing.J text. This is an editable text region. So J text area T equals new J text area. There we go. When I was making sure I had to look up what the constructors were for JText area, because I didn't remember, because I don't keep all this knowledge in my head. So let me just go through with you how you would look something up if you didn't know how. So if you go to Google or open up a browser, you can just Google it. So Java JText area. Make sure you spell that right. And you can see here the first link brings you to docs.oracle, and that's a big archive that gives you all kinds of information about Java. So I can scroll through here, and you can see right down here, that's a list of all the constructors for JText area. You see right here I can put a string in there, here I can put a string and I can say how many rows, how many columns, and here's one I can just simply say how many rows, how many columns. So this is a good trick to know whenever you want to look stuff up about Java and you're not sure about something. So we're going to use a constructor that says how many rows, how many columns. So I'm going to say 10, 20. So this will give me 10 rows and 20 columns. Alright? And then I'll add it. There you go. And then last but not least, we're going to create a label. So import java.swing.jlabel. And we're going to create a new instance of it. So JLabel L is equal to new JLabel. And the constructor for this one is I can put a string here, just like the button. So this is a label. There we go. Then we add it to our pane. Add, fill. And then let me go through this one more time. So this creates a pane, a button, or sorry, a panel, a button, a text area, and a label. And then in the main method, which starts at the program, we create a new instance of this class, and then jumps into our constructor method. And here we just set a bunch of settings for the window, or for how the window will be set up. Here we add our button, our text area, and our label to the panel, and here we add the panel to the window, and then we make the whole thing visible. So that way it won't be any point where, like for instance, if we've set it visible like over here, then there would have been a point where it was blank before it was able to add the rest of this. So it's good that we set it have visible last. So now we'll compile it. And I forgot to put a semicolon after a label. No worries. Compile it again. All set. And then run it. Basic swing. And here we go. So we got our button, our text area, and our label. And our text area, we can edit it and type in stuff. And that's everything. Now this, as you can see, it shows button first, then text area, and then label. It shows it in the order that we added them. So if we moved label after button like that, and then recompiled it, then label will show up before text area. That's how you can organize it. And there's one more thing I want to show you. There's a handy method in the JFrame class called pack. And this basically overrides the set size thing. It sets the size to something that will be just big enough to fit all of our objects. So if I compile it again and run it, see, it's now resized to a point where it can just barely fit all our objects. And there we go, all done. In the next tutorial, we'll be talking about how we can make these buttons actually do things. Like I can make React to be really cool. And so that's the end of this tutorial. Hope you found it helpful. To see how well you understood it, stick around for the challenge. For today's challenge, do the best you can to replicate this program right here. Here's the outro. You've just watched a SynForge tutorial. If you found it helpful, please like the video and leave a comment. This helps out my channel. If you found the challenge helpful, you can find more of them at my website, www.synforge.co. You can also find my games and my other tutorials there. With that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.